Hey guys, it's Greg. Um, had a doctor's appointment today, and it was worthless, useless. But he gave me another prescription, um, and I'll start taking it tomorrow. But I think most of this is pretty much over with by now, starting to tail off. So, um, feeling a lot better compared to what I felt like at this time last week. So, Uh, I wanted to tell you all thank you again for your well wishes, your thoughts, your prayers. I appreciate it. Um, I forgot to watch this past Monday, um, but I had saw I, there was a preview had come up um, regarding my local Fox affiliate was going to run a special report on um, get this, of all things, conspiracy theories. And the thing is, uh, one of the major universities in this area, Clemson University, actually has a class for this, a course that you can take or sign up for and take. It's an honors course at that. So, it's religion, cults, secret societies, and conspiracy theories. But the special report didn't mention the religion part, didn't mention the secret societies, it didn't mention the cults. It was about conspiracy theories. I think we know why. So, uh, and of course, a psychologist was brought into the discussion, and the implication there is that anybody like you or me that sees the world for what it is, there's the thing is there's conspiracy, all right. It's just not a theory, but we see the world for what it is, and I don't know, has it gotten to the point to where college is having to, universities are having to create courses to start discrediting this. So the professor that started the course, he made a statement in the video that um, that it's harder to disprove something than it is to prove it, and I don't think I would argue with that. So when you they interview a young lady who's a Clemson student, and she starts talking about the moon landings, and she talks about, now this young lady probably wasn't even born during the Challenger explosion, but she's talking about the 69 moon landings, or the 69 through what, 74, 70, whatever the year they stopped, I don't remember anymore. As if it's ancient history. She was talking about cinematography and how people were much more impressed. It was easily, you could impress people easily during that time. Well, I wouldn't disagree with that, but I don't think it's the fact that it's cinematography. I think it's the fact that you're getting this, and the professor says, in another statement he makes, he actually uses the word on high. Like, we have to have secrets There are secrets that need to come down from on high. So I think what the lunar landing thing is just it's just been hammered in everybody's head by the authority, on high, and uh, maybe this newer generation isn't quite as impressed with NASA's, authoritarian statements. I don't know. Maybe that's why they have to create classes now to dispute and to make anyone that believes in these conspiracies. I'm not even going to say conspiracy theories, because we certainly know that conspiracies go on and they're not theories. One thing about the video, I'm going to tack it on here. I'm try to hurry this up so I don't keep you on here too long, because it's about 5 minutes long. I'm going to tack it on to the end here. The one thing that I noticed when I captured it was that the audio for some reason isn't synced up really well. It's a nanosecond or so off. It's not a big deal. It's more of a little nuisance, as far as the mouth not going along with the audio. But it's no big deal. You're more than welcome, and you're more than welcome with anything that I ever upload, to download it, copy it, cut it out, cut out anything you need, and it doesn't matter to me. But I'm going to provide a link to the website from my local Fox affiliate, and to the article that goes along with it that accompanies the video. And if you want to recapture that video for yourself, and you can do it to where you don't have any audio issues, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, if you decide that you don't really want this or need it for anything, that's fine too. So but just want to make you aware that the audio, when I captured that video earlier this evening, that it as I went back to review it, it wasn't synced up quite exactly right. So, but it's no big deal. Okay. Well, if you know that in your area, if something like this, if they've run some kind of a report like this in your area, let me know, because I'm interested to see if if we know that they hand down these scripts to these local stations, and everybody's seen those videos where 9 million reporters say the exact same words. So we know they run on a script, and I very seriously doubt that Clemson University is the only university to have this type of course. Now, I guess it would be more like a philosophy course, or social science. I don't know. But they bring in a psychologist to subtly suggest that conspiracy theories can lead to anxiety disorders, which my brother, I've told you, thinks that I should be locked up because I don't believe they landed on the moon. Now, he can't prove they did, but because I don't accept the norm or the authoritarian statement that they did do this, Well, this stuff just serves as his, ammunition. This reinforces his ideology as to how to view people that see past the bullshit like we do. So I assume that that's probably one of the reasons for the course is to to try to nip it in the bud as far as university students, because they tend to be some of the ones that are actually starting to break away from the traditional views of what's been told to them. But also doing a news report this way is also a way to reinforce the ideology of we're lunatics, to people like my brother. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now. But the video, I'm gonna tag it on right here, and just feel free to download if you want to, and you can cut me out of it and save the file, split it, or I'm gonna leave the link if you want to go and recapture it or download it, and if you can figure out how to actually get the actual source video. But okay, guys, once again, thank you all for your well wishes and thoughts and prayers over the past week. I'm feeling a lot better than I did at this time last week, so I really appreciate it. So alright, guys, have a good night. Be good to everyone else. Have a good one, and take care.
Tonight in a Fox Carolina investigation, take your pick of story or event, and you can usually find some sort of conspiracy theory tied to it. And if you found yourself wondering if there's more to it at all, or there is something that someone's not telling you, well, you're not alone on that. In fact, we're learning there's a whole psychology behind conspiracy theories and a lot more mainstream interest in the topic.
And tonight, Fox Carolina's Sarah Danek sits down with a professor who has a whole class on conspiracy theories and a psychologist who explains why we just can't let it go.
There's a class here on the campus of Clemson University that's hard to get into.
It's filled up in as few as 19 minutes.
It's an honors seminar called Religion, Cults, Secret Societies, and Conspiracy Theories. And with a name like that, students are all in.
Some of the secrets did leak out. There's no question about it.
A conspiracy is kind of, as we defined it originally, two or more people conspiring or with a secret plan to do something that's most often criminal. So that was things in regards to like Watergate, and it's not always people that you would think are trying to do something bad, but when they get carried away in it, they do something that's probably not for the greater good, but for their own benefit.
Natalie Polizzi is a senior in the honors class. It got her thinking and asking some of her own questions.
So I think that's really interesting to, for people to say that we didn't land on the moon. You're like, oh, we obviously landed on the moon, but we really don't know. None of us were there. We just have recordings, and we know how good cinematography is. I mean, granted, it wasn't as good back then, but people were impressed by a lot back then. So I think it's interesting to think about what's actually, could be true and what's not, because people deny things, but there's no evidence of it existing or not existing.
3 years ago, Dr. Peter Cohen presented the idea for the class to Clemson, and it's taken off since then.
The course basically takes a look at the phenomenon of cults, secret societies, different groups of and conspiracy theories, and how they're manifested, how they are created, the influence they have on people, and the good and the bad.
He explains why conspiracy theories can take hold with such a tight grip.
The old friend of a friend, or I heard from someone that. And if you can't prove it, well, let's put it this way. The hardest thing to do is not prove something, it's to disprove it.
Dr. Cohen says it shouldn't surprise us that there are so many theories out there, especially when the public doesn't always get the full story. He gives the example of Area 51 in Nevada.
It is there, it is secret, there are people guarding it, there are sensors in the road, you can be arrested, you can be shot. Now the question is, what's beyond that? Are there aliens in warehouses? I would tend to doubt it, but we do know that experimental aircraft were tested there.
We spoke with Dr. Brittany Rudy, a psychologist in Greenville who specializes in anxiety disorders. She says she's seen patients get caught up in conspiracy theories, and it can boil down to our natural need-to-know instinct.
It largely hinges on that feeling of uncertainty. So we know that as a species, humans have a really hard time with the not knowing, and it causes a great deal of anxiety for us to not be able to understand something, not know something, or not have a reason why.
Dr. Rudy says it's also about a connection to other people, and while it's not inherently a bad thing, it can be taken to an unhealthy level.
We want to just make sure that we are taking time to consider all the facts. We're taking time to understand that there's multiple perspectives, as well as recognizing that we may have to accept that there isn't a really good explanation for something, and then we just have to move forward.
Dr. Cohen adds sometimes secrets are necessary in society, even if conspiracy theories develop as a result.
I truly think when it comes to some of our decisions on high about the military, we give out too much information about troop movement, about days we're going to be out of a country or whatever. There's got to be secrets because of the enemy knowing things. What happened on November 22nd, 1963? Kennedy's route was published in the newspaper, and they knew he had his motorcade had to slow down on a corner. I mean, there's certain things you have to obviously not have as a conspiracy theory, but have secrets kept.
Dr. Rudy tells us the psychology and social phenomenon of conspiracy theories has been around for a while, but has gotten even more popular in the past several years.
And she says our greater access to information allows us to connect and to share things a little more easily, so it feels like more conspiracy theories are floating around. And she says that's led to researchers wanting to study this topic even more.